S-T-U-C-K. That's stuck with a capital S. That will not be the time to start wishing that you had leaned in when the Lord was speaking. Another thing the Lord was speaking about was homosexuality and anal sex. It's a very strange topic to be hearing very early in the morning, on a Wednesday morning. However, that is what the Lord was speaking about. And the Lord was so angry about this thing, but it was not the surging anger that we sometimes bring with it. It was this calm anger that most of us know someone has already taken certain decisions, and now from this point onward, there will simply be consequences. And the Lord was saying that it is absolutely unacceptable for any human being to have sexual relations in their backside. It doesn't matter if you are a gay man. It doesn't matter if you are a straight man. It doesn't matter if you are a down low man, which is the hybrid of the gay and the straight man. It doesn't matter if you are a female who is gay or a female who is not gay and doing it to appear risque and avant-garde with your partner to impress him that you're the girl who goes beyond the norm. It doesn't matter on what platform and for what reason you are doing this, whether because you are a swinger, you are bi, you are exploring, you are anything. The Lord says that it is absolutely unacceptable, and it is a biblically based abominable practice that will be judged. And the Lord says that people who continue this, you will either be struck with some kind of plague-like illness that is going to involve worms back there, and you will be tormented by it. He also says that people will be exposed for doing this. And as you can see, what the news headlines are covering right now, one of the mightiest gatekeepers in America is falling, jumping on jets and all that. It's like the white Bronco all over again. And yet these things were covered in 2022. In 2022, I've always said this, between June and September, some of the most harrowing months that I've had here on the Master's Voice Prophecy blog, because that is the time that I was covering the series that is known as the Sodomy Ritual. The Sodomy Ritual Part 1, the Sodomy Ritual Part 2, the Sodomy Ritual Part 3, the Dirt of Hollywood Part 1, the Dirt of Hollywood Part 2. Those were the times where I was naming the names. Jennifer Lawrence and Madonna and Britney and Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake and Kevin Hart and Will Smith and Beyonce Knowles and Jay-Z and P. Diddy and Cassie. That was the time when I was naming the names. That was the time when the insults were flying fast and free. That God does not care about this thing. How on earth would God not care about what he says is a destructive and a soul-destroying practice that creates a shattered psyche and a mind slave? Why would God not care about young people being raped when God is the one who was saying that when these young children converge upon Hollywood and the music industry from all over the country, I was saying that I would see these children arriving, young people, maybe lower 20s or maybe even teens, arriving with so much hope in their heart. I was saying that I would see these children arriving, young people, maybe lower 20s or maybe even teens, arriving with so much hope in their heart, with a dream and actual talent. And I said they had this brightness of the sun shining in their hearts, but they didn't know that they were coming to a place where they would be ringed around with predators. Even these gatekeepers had to pay their dues. They're looking at these men like Jay-Z and Puff Daddy walking around and looking so high and so mighty now, and do you not know that someone bent them over for the power that they have now? Accused of slandering famous people, as if famous people are above slander. And yet the Lord is saying, back then, that he would expose all these things. But now all the phraseology is flying around 2 years later. Oh, 2024 is the year of exposure. Why? Because of carnality in the listeners. God was not fit to use a prophetic voice to expose it. But when it's now being exposed on podcast, then you're all locked in. Of the earth. And then there are several prayer calls whereby I was speaking about how I saw people fleeing from America. I saw people, there'll definitely be people from the Philippines, people from Vietnam, it will be people from Mexico for sure, people from Brazil, Colombia, Chile, Nicaragua. I saw them, many African nations, especially Nigerians. I saw a lot of Nigerians pulling out of an industry that they are very highly populated in the United States. That is the medical industry, all tiers, from the doctors all the way down to the guys who are nurses assistants, registered nurses, and things like that. I saw Nigerians pulling out. I saw also Ghanaians going home. So there will definitely be a large contingent of movements of people. And the thing that the Lord was speaking to me when I was sleeping was just bringing these things to me. It wasn't actually a dream with pictures as I remember. Excuse me, please. It was just talking. It was just talking to me as I was sleeping. You sleep and then he's talking and then you fall asleep again and then he talks to you. Is why people are not preparing. A passport in America is $160 now, and you can get it at your local post office. And it is so strange to see a lot of the people who have recently come into the country lining up in the passport centers to get them. At least here in New York City, I've seen it. They're the ones who are taking advantage of the naturalization process. By what means, I cannot say. But the people who live here, no matter how many times they hear a prophecy, they will say, oh, you know, it's so expensive. And I will not speak to your pocket, but at the same time, to simply say it's so expensive and then sit, which is more expensive, to find out how to start putting finances aside, even if it's $5 every time, and trusting God that you'll get another $5 until you hit that 160 cap. Because if you have 4 children, you know that you have to get passports 5 times. 4 for the kids and 1 for you if you're a single parent, and then 6 if you're a double parent household. So what's cheaper, working towards the passport or ending up in the Russian gulag camp? Because again, if you have a laid back posture, you think that complaining is a solution. You absolutely will. You will think, oh, Celestial, it's easy for you to say, but you know, I'm a single mother and I don't have a good relationship with his father and the father will never agree to it. Well then, madam, you have a whole path of fasting and prayer ahead of you. It's going to be tougher for you than the woman who has a good relationship with her ex, and the ex says, oh sure, what do you need me to sign? And he signs it, and the baby gets a passport, and then you can move on to getting your passport. If the ex wants one or not, that's his decision. He's a grown man. But to think that you are exempted from action because you have complained is a very curious lifestyle choice. Let me put it that way. So you type a comment on the internet, complain